Alright, so I'm just going to go over how you assemble these guys here. I like to use these little square magnets. These are kind of directional because they're cut in the plasma. The one side has like a cleaner cut, and the back side you can see is like a little bit elongated in the holes and stuff. So I like to keep the clean side where you would see it. So I'm gonna put this down so it's the good side down. And then put the magnet in here. And then your back piece. Just kind of get it in here. And then I just like to line it up so that you have a nice open corner here. So I'll probably do it right about like that. Once you're happy where it's at, I would just throw a couple tacks in there. And then you don't really need squares anymore for the magnets, but I would next do the middle or like the front piece, which kind of just sets in there. So for this guy, it doesn't matter a whole lot where it's at. Try and like center it in here, like lengthwise, and typically try to get it like as close to the bolt hole as you can. That way you have more room on the front for the bump can. Have it nice and parallel in here. And then throw a couple tacks on that. If you want to weld the inside, you could probably do that now. You hold the pieces together. But lastly, you can obviously take these off. And then what I like to do is throw a bolt or 2 bolts up through the hole in the back side. So I'd have like one there, and then you get one of these holes here. Just kind of like to square it up. And then you would set this down where the bolts go. So these would be pointing up from the bottom, but basically like this. My magnets are in the way, but then you can just make sure the holes line up. You would align your other open corner here, and then once it all looks nice and even, just tack that in. Then you can weld this whole assembly up. And then for these guys, I would do this last. So get that all welded up. You can let it start to cool down and stuff. So like if the whole thing's standing up like this, these guys go this direction. So this angle follows this back angle. So you just like pretty much have it all lined up, so you know everything's in place. Same thing on the other side, and then you place your can in here. And you can adjust it to where you want it. I typically just have the bottom line up, and then I'd also go like halfway down, so that the can's like split in half, basically. So like the center line of the can. And then I would tack both sides up. Now, some people like to put like a piece of DOM in here. You could put a piece of 2-inch DOM inside, and then that'll kind of act as a heat sink, pull some of the heat out of the weld area. It'll also make sure that this doesn't end up spreading, because you would put your like bolts in here. Again, just kind of like hand tight. So I'd recommend to do that if you have some tubing laying around. Otherwise, just be careful welding these 2 joints because it's thin and you don't want to warp it and not be able to get your Might be able to get your bump stop in or have it be too loose. You just figure out where you want to put the assemblies, and you have your 1 3/4 DOM tubing that you would weld it to. I'd recommend putting some gussets in the backside